morning, everyone. My name is Amy Gill, your pharmacist that cares. So, you guys, Christmas is less than 2 weeks away. Who woke up yesterday and realized what day it is? And you're like, oh my gosh, we've got 2 weeks left. I swear it was just November 1st. And I was putting up, well, the boys actually were putting up the first tree. I'm like, we're going to get done early this year. We're going to have everything done and we're going to enjoy it. Now, the trees are up. The presents are not wrapped. Most of them are purchased, I think. The Christmas cards, I'm halfway in the middle of finishing those. So those will be in the mail soon. So who else has all of this to do? And everybody says, guys, Christmas is the exact same day every year. It's not like Easter and Thanksgiving and all that rotates, right? It is. We know exactly when Christmas is. So why do we do this to ourselves every year? You think you're going to start earlier and it just doesn't happen. So today, this made me think of a topic I want to talk about is being tired. What are we going to do with this season and the craziness that it brings, and what goes into being tired, right? Is it just lack of sleep? Absolutely not. There is so much that goes into it. But people, especially this time of year, you guys, it gets dark earlier. It's gloomy today. It looks like it's going to snow, which if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow, right? But those things all will affect our mood, right? A lot of people have, signs of depression during the winter. It's harder for them. It's cold. It's just dark all the time. It's just, I don't know how people do it in the areas of the world where there's polar nights. I follow a lady in Svalbard, absolutely love watching her. And it's so fun to see the Northern Lights, but I can't imagine it actually being dark 24 hours a day for months, right? That would be a whole new level that you would need to deal with. So what are we doing to deal with this season and just our everyday tiredness? I know you guys, you've watched my stuff. I run around with my kids all the time. I spend a lot of time driving in the car. And sometimes I'll say, oh, I think it's the driving that makes me tired. Well, not necessarily, but that is one thing that it can, because you're focused, you're concentrating. I hope you're concentrating on the road when you're driving and not doing other things. But that is one thing that can fatigue you. But what other things can cause that fatigue? Several things, you guys. The list can go on and on. So I'm just going to touch on a few of the big ones. Obviously, stress. People are going to say, I'm not sleeping well. I'm stressed. That makes me tired. It can. Absolutely. Running around constantly not getting enough sleep. Yes, it does. And I know your to-do list is very long. So is mine. But guess what? We all still need sleep. That is so important. You cannot catch up on the weekend. You cannot catch up in January. So don't even think that that's going to happen. And yes, there are going to be those nights that maybe you get a few hours less and you wake up and you're like, oh, not ready to get out of bed yet. I understand that, but let's not make a habit of that, because that is really important. Another thing that's important is the bed you are sleeping in. If you are not getting a good night's rest, that could cause some issues, not only with how much sleep you get, but how you feel in the morning. Does your neck hurt? Does your back hurt? Do you just feel extra achy? Do you just not sleeping well because of your mattress or your pillow? That's a definite possibility. If that is the case, if you guys are like, oh, it's the mattress, it's the pillow, boy, do I have somebody for you. Oh my gosh. So if you need somebody, reach out to me. Stuart at Box Drop Mattress in St. Peter's is amazing. We've got 3 new beds from him, and we have purchased 15 of his pillows. So, and we are sleeping much better. So don't let that be something. That's a factor you can fix. Okay. That's easy to fix. Go see him, get a new bed, get a new mattress, get a new pillow. Those are easy. Okay. So that is super important. That's an easy fix. What are the things that maybe are not as easy to fix? Well, what if it's some deficiencies that you have that you don't know? If this is something that's been going on for a while, I suggest going to the doctor and getting some blood work done. You could be low in certain things. It could be even a thyroid issue. You would be surprised what your thyroid controls and how it can make you feel. It can fluctuate things with your weight, your mood, definitely being tired, and so many other things. So if these are factors that have been going on and you're getting a good night's rest, you're sleeping on a good bed, the stress really isn't there, then there are other avenues that we need to look into, because though that is absolutely important. And this time of year, vitamin D is important because, like I said, the sun is not there, right? So, and that is a good vitamin that we all need. We get it from the sun, and that's the best way to get it. But if not, we need to look at supplementing it. But that is also one, I've talked about this before, that you have to be careful with, because it is a fat soluble vitamin. So it's not going to just, whatever your body doesn't absorb, it's not going to void out like your B vitamins do, okay? Like the water soluble ones do. So it is important that we check our levels. We just don't randomly go and take some supplements, especially ones that are at a higher level, because you can actually cause yourself a lot of harm. If you want to go back and watch that episode, go search vitamin D. Go search vitamin D, and you can actually see that one. And I go into a lot more detail about that. So let's look at all these factors and how they go together. So what are you going to do besides lowering your stress, getting some sleep, getting a better bed and pillow, a better mattress and pillow if you need that? What else are we going to do? You guys need to watch what you are eating. Again, at this time of year, oh gosh, I know. Don't even tell me. I know it's holiday time, and they always bring the Seas candy out at West County. I'm sure it's other places too, probably the gallery as well. But yeah, I've gone there, right? Who doesn't love that? Because it's something you only get usually once a year, unless you live out west where they have those stores. So yes, the sugars. But those sugars, what are they going to do? You're going to feel great for a few minutes, but then what's going to happen? You're going to crash, and you're going to feel tired and blah, and your gut and all those things, right? So again, moderation is fine. Don't bust through the whole box of the Seas candy at once. Save it. Remember, moderation is so important. But what else are we eating? Are we getting enough greens? Are we working on our gut health? All these things are tied together. Our mood. What is going on in this little space right between your ears, right? What is going on up there? All those things. If you got all these thoughts running through your head, especially negative thoughts, that's going to wear you down and make you tired too. So it's not just one thing. It's not just the holidays that cause us to be tired. It's not just our kids being in 1,000 activities that cause us to be tired, or us being so involved in our community. All these things. Yes, these all are factors that contribute, but there is so much more. So how are we going to work on that? Like I said, we're going to talk about our stress. We're going to talk about sleeping better and watching our diet, watching our gut health. But what are you doing for caffeine? How many people are running through the drive-through and spending a ton of money on those sugary, very high caffeinated drinks? Yeah, it smells good. It might taste good for a few minutes, but what's going to happen later? Your stomach's going to hurt, and you just gotten used to that because you do this every day. So you have no idea. You're going to crash. You're like, oh, guess I need another one. That's not really the way to go. So if you like the smell of coffee, I highly suggest getting a candle that smells like it, because I do love the smell of coffee. But again, I just don't like the taste of it anymore. I don't like how it makes me feel afterwards. That's the problem. So what kind of clean energy are you going to get? Again, we're going to look for those water soluble vitamins that our body uses what it needs, and what it doesn't need at the time, it's just going to void out. So B vitamins are fantastic for that energy. And you want choices for natural caffeine, right? Green tea, guarana, all those things are going to help with focus. They're natural, and they're not going to have the crash. You're not getting all those extra sugary calories, and you're just not going to feel blah. So if you're looking for something like that, if you're like somebody, still need to get through the day, I need my caffeine, right? People say that I haven't had my caffeine fix this morning. I was on the phone this morning with AT&T as I dropped my phone and I shattered the screen. Oh, yes. So the guy answered the phone and he's like, how's your day going today? And on the other end, I'm smiling and I said, well, it's going. And he kind of laughs and he said something. He goes, you haven't had your coffee today? And then I, of course, said, I don't really drink coffee anymore. And I said, well, I told him what happened. I dropped my phone. But the thing is, and what I said, it could always be worse. The phone still worked. I mean, certain areas don't on the screen, but that's okay. I'm going to get it fixed. I've got the insurance for it. It's all good, right? It could be so much worse. So it's how are we going to turn those situations into things that are going to be maybe not positive, but maybe not so negative. So if you are looking for those ways, just the little things just to switch things around. If you're looking for the alternative to drinking pots of coffee or going through spending $1 million, going through the drive-through, let's chat. You guys have heard me talk about fizz before. I've got mine right here. That's what I'm drinking. Yes, out of a Christmas vacation cup. And that's what I have in the morning. I have my mind health with it. So I focus and I'm ready for the day. And I have my fizz and I just sip on it during the morning and I am ready to go. No, I don't drink 10 a day, even though some people think that. But again, it's the way, it's your attitude, right? You can either be like Eeyore and be blah, or you can be happy no matter what it looks like outside or what the craziness of your day is. It's all about perspective. And that is going to affect exactly how we feel. One last tip before I go, I want to tell you is in the morning, when you get up, number one, don't hit snooze. But when you go to the mirror, we've had this conversation before, if you guys remember, do not look at yourself in the mirror and say, oh, you look tired, right? Don't say this to yourself because guess what? You see somebody a few minutes after that, whether it's somebody in your house or even out and about, they're going like, oh, you look tired because you are throwing that out there, okay? You want to be full of energy. Even if you're not feeling it, you will. I've taught my children this. Sometimes it's really hard to get up early in the morning, whether it's for school or hockey practice or whatever it is. And especially Alex, he knows he better not say he's tired first thing in the morning. He will smile at me, maybe eyes still shut, and he will say, Mom, I am full of energy. And I'll usually make him say it a few times. And then by the end of it, he's smiling, he's laughing, and he's up ready to get in the shower. So you guys just try these little things. Do this with your family. It is important to set that example for them as well. And remember, if you want me to send you some fizz, reach out and I will pop some of those in the mail so you can know what good, clean energy tastes like without all the sugary crash. My name is Amy Gill,